Behind the rhymes.
The mountain we all climb.
Boots. Lace up your boots, it's time for the hike. Side by side or single file if you like. Pack your bag with new and the old, the familiar yet unfamiliar, dress for the cold. Off on the journey, sticks in the ground, the guide leads the way, no map to be found. One foot in front of the other, the sun up ahead, the path unfamiliar, companions, friends, lovers, waiting to be led.
Andrew, what lies behind these rhymes? This sounds like it's about climbing mountains.
Well, it is about climbing mountains, and it's not about climbing mountains at the same time. So it's a metaphor really for life. This is again a journey of life when you set out and you're unsure of where you're heading to, how you're heading there.
When and where did you write this poem?
So the original inspiration for this poem was I was looking for a prologue for the second book, the poetry which I've written and just submitted to Austin Macaulay, the publishers who are using publishing my first book. Um, and it didn't quite work as the prologue for the book. So that has a different prologue now because the second book is all about hiking and like a journey through life and that kind of thing. So it kind of fitted in with that.
And what is the first book about? You have a book coming out this year?
So the first book is pandemic poetry. So the official title of it is After the Applause, Pandemic Poetry of a Frontline Nurse. So yeah, I wrote that during the pandemic, whilst on ITU, some of my experiences as a nurse, which I'm hoping we'll talk about in the future podcasts.
I hope so, but let's go back to Boots. There you say that there is a guide who leads the way. Who is this?
It's again that could be anything. So for me, it's it could be your partner, it could be a friend, it could be your parent. There are many guides that we have in life, not just the sort of a standard guide that you might think that knows the way that you're going. Sometimes in journeys, especially life journeys, you don't always know where you're going. Unlike, I guess, like an organized hike, it would be a bit of a nightmare if you were kind of lost and you didn't know there. Being a hiker yourself, how do you relate to this poem?
Well, when I read it first, I thought, wow, this was my daily life at the time when I was guiding hikes and you have 20, 25 people following you. So I found it very interesting how, you wrote about this kind of experience. And then I thought there's more to this poem. So I really like the way you ended it. Um, Saying that there are friends, lovers waiting to be led. Because as a leader of hikes, I've had that sort of responsibility of leading other people. And sometimes you're right, you don't know where you're going, yet you're leading other people and you're trying to figure things out on the go. And sometimes you need to ask for help. So this poem is very close to my heart. I really enjoyed reading it because it refers both to actual experience of being in the mountains, but also of going through life. Now that we've discussed what this poem could mean, could you please read it again for our listeners?
Boots. Lace up your boots, it's time for the hike. Side by side or single file, if you like. Pack your bag with new and the old, the familiar yet unfamiliar, dress for the cold. Off on the journey, sticks in the ground, the guide leads the way, no map to be found. One foot in front of the other, the sun up ahead, the path unfamiliar, companions, friends, lovers, waiting to be led.
You've been listening to Behind the Rhymes, the mountain we all climb, with me, Maya.
And me, Andrew. If you like this podcast, look out for more by us on Anchor, Google Podcasts, Breaker,
Pocket Casts, Radio Public, and Spotify.